हरे कृष्णा। हरे कृष्णा। मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना? क्लियर? इज माय वॉइस ओके?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
ज्ञानस्मरण ज्ञानांजन शलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी भगवान प्रचारिणी विशेष शून्यवादी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। Alright, so here we are. और हमारा आज that's what we are. Where were we? Yeah, chapter number 6, right? How to discharge devotional service. It's one of the key. Arey, mera, somebody needs to give me screen sharing rights in order for me to be properly able to execute my duties. I need some rights.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
I got it. I got it. Okay, fine. So here it is. So this is what we covered last week, right? No, this week itself, but like, during the week. Now, how to discharge devotional service, chapter number 6. Okay. It's a very crucial chapter. This is how the chapter is being divided. All the chapters. So what you see here in chapter number 6 will be expanded through chapter 7 until chapter 13. In fact, 14 also. This is the chapter which is again divided into 8 more chapters. Subdivided. Okay. So as you see, chapter number 7 will be dealing with the first 18 limbs of bhakti. You see 64 items. First 18 items will be taken care of in chapter number 7. Chapter number 8 will only take care of one subject, offenses to be avoided. Like devotees are generally like, what should I say? Going, like head over heels actually over this offenses thing. So I have got one chapter. Then 9th, it's like from 20 to 42. And then 10th, as we can see, 43 to 46, techniques of hearing and remembering. 47 to 53, other services. These are like other services. And 54 to 59, yet other services. Okay. And then 60 to 64, which we also known as Panchanga Bhakti. Panchanga Bhakti. 5 limbs of devotion. 5 limb devotion. Okay. That's how it takes care of itself. Chapter number 14 also, which is not like mentioned here, it also deals with more aspects of this Panchanga Bhakti. Panchanga Bhakti. That's what it is. So, right. Let us see if like what's there in your handbook. I'm pretty sure it's, as far as I can remember, there are certain very important aspects also mentioned in your handbook. So you must take advantage of that. Yeah, as I said, it's already there. It's page number 85. Page number 85. Of course, I'm opening it on your screen. You see, this is how it is. Okay. 64 is divided into 20 plus 44. It becomes very easy. This is an easier division. 10 do's, 10 don'ts, 39 other items, and 5 like specific items. Most effective. Make 64. Now always remember this: 10 do's, 10 don'ts, and 44. You can remember that. And then deduct 5 most important. Whatever is remaining is 39. That's it. It's like easier to remember this. It's good that we are reading this during the Chaturmasya. It will be very. I believe it should help all of you. Of course, throughout your life, but specifically this Chaturmasya fever. There's a Chaturmasya fever, in ISKCON. The fever gets intensified in Kartik. And then it reaches the level of madness during last 5 days. So this is there to, basically reduce that fever. You don't need a fever for bhakti. All you need to have a good health for bhakti. So this is like for all the years to come in your life, all the days that you're going to encounter. Whenever you feel that I'm not, I want to increase bhakti. So take a look at this chart. Take a look at the next page. This is like, of course, because it's in one page, it looks very complicated, but it's not complicated. Just forget this part. Okay? For your participation, this, wait, let me see if I can reduce this a little bit. It becomes white. Yeah, now it will be easy for me. Okay, this whole part, forget this. Okay, all of that, forget this. Just think that this is a list. That's all. If you don't take care, don't see this. So this is just a list, right? So you just take care of this list. And see this list and see what can you do. Bas. Or you may even discover there are so many things you are already doing, which probably you don't give so much importance or so much attention, pay so much attention to. So that can also help you increase your confidence in Krishna consciousness. You see? You might be thinking, oh, I'm not doing anything in Krishna consciousness. I'm not doing any bhakti, I'm not doing anything. But if you take care of this list, you may find there are so many things you are doing, and yet there are so many other things you can add without having any strain on yourself. And that's 64 limbs of bhakti. Okay, let's go into the details gradually. But before we go into the details, or maybe this is afterwards. Oh yeah, principle, and this is the principle and detail. Okay, we will come to that. Let's first discuss this. Okay, by the way, how many of you are ready with the 64 limbs poem? Shabash. Shabash. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Vaibhavi Maji is traveling today. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Maji. Bhavika Maji is also ready. Good, good, good. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Let's first discuss the first 20 and then we will come to that. Okay. Where were we? Let's go to 64 volumes again. Okay, need a volunteer to read on. Bhavika Maji, would you like to read for us? Wait. Just wait. Okay, as we were in the same chart, you can see items of sadhana and most important items. Yes, Bhavika Maji, read on for us.
20 items, all very important. Without following the above mentioned 10 principles, one cannot properly elevate himself to the platform of sadhana bhakti or devotional service in practice. Altogether, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions 20 items and all of them are very important.
Wait, I haven't finished yet. Read on.
Out of the 20, the first three, namely accepting the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, taking initiation from him, and serving him with respect and reverence are the most important.
Yes. So out of the first, after the 64, the first 10, they are very important, without which, you see what Prabhupada is writing here? Basically, Rupa Goswami is saying that, and Prabhupada is just translating for us for that. And he's also certainly emphasizing. He says, one cannot properly elevate. The first 10, if you don't do them, cannot properly elevate. Can be there, but you won't improve. If you want to improve in sadhana bhakti, so you'll have to take care of this first 10. Okay. You don't elevate into sadhana bhakti by the 44. You elevate into the sadhana bhakti by the first 10. We will discuss the first 10. We will discuss, but just like around this thing. Okay. So this 10, first 10. And out of the first 10, the first 3 are even more important. Okay. You see? Accepting the shelter, taking initiation, and third is serving. 3 things. Accepting shelter. As we understand, accepting shelter is different from taking initiation. Accepting shelter is one, accepting initiations is another. And then serving the spiritual master is yet another. Okay. So if you have done all the 3, you get 3 marks. It's like that. If you get 1, you get 1 mark. It's like that. Let's see what are these. First, it has already shown us, but let's go to the book. Okay. To see the list of first 10, and then it should be far easier for us. Yes, so here, okay, these are the first 10. Accepting the shelter of the spiritual master, you see, that was the first, as is given in the PowerPoint slide also. Then becoming initiated and learning from him. So when you're learning from him, that is siksha. When you're initiated, that is diksha. So it's like diksha is not enough. You need the siksha also. Otherwise, it's the meaning of diksha. See, a disciple, what do they call a disciple in Sanskrit? Any idea? What do you call the disciple in Sanskrit? Go on, Pandit Gadadhar Prabhu. Oh, yeah, somebody said that. Who said that? I couldn't figure this out. Somebody mentioned it. Who mentioned that? Pandit Gadadhar Prabhu, can you tell
Not
me?
sure, Prabhuji. Is it Shishya, Prabhuji?
Sishya.
Disciple means?
Sishya. So why it is not Dikshit? It's like in India, you must know that there are many people who have got the surname Dikshit. Right? Why don't we call them the disciple Dikshit? Why don't we call him Sishya? It's a very important point actually. It is based on this second part. One is not a disciple by being initiated. One is a disciple when he's learning how to discharge devotional service from. Okay. That's why we have the whole community Sikh. The Sikh community, we call them Sikh. But that is because of the Punjabi accent. But actually it is Sikh. Based on the same thing, Sishya. Not based on Diksha, but based on Siksha. Diksha is part of that section. Diksha is part of that section. Okay. All right. So, and then the third is obeying the orders of the spiritual master. That we read. All these three we read. These, as Rupa Goswami is saying and Prabhupada is emphasizing, are the most important if you want to elevate in spiritual life. It's for elevation. Remember, this is not devotional service. In that sense, they are devotional service, of course. But if you want to elevate in devotional service, you could require these three too. These three. You just want to remain in devotional service where you are, you might not take care of that. And that takes care of the question where devotees ask often. I have seen many devotees asking that question. Prabhu, what is the need for taking initiation? Can't we just take in, the teachings, Siksha, and just we can go on? Yeah, you can go on. But if you want to elevate, then you need to do all three things. You just want to be where you are, may not take any initiation. That's okay. Okay. And Prabhupada says that not everybody requires a spiritual master. Many times Prabhupada said that, quite categorical about it. Not everyone needs a spiritual master. Only those who want to advance in spiritual life need a spiritual master. So that's what it is. All right. So now then we come to following in the footsteps of the great acharyas. Sadhu Vatmanuvatmanam. Adau Guru Padashya Tatha Krishna Sikshadi Dikshanam Sadharma Pricha Sadhu Vatmanuvatmanam. Okay. So it's like that. And then comes the fifth one. We spent a lot of time here on this in a previous session. Inquiring from the spiritual master how to advance. Remember? When we're talking about question and answers. You can ask questions to advance in spiritual life, certainly. But asking question itself is a limb of bhakti, just as japa is a limb of bhakti. If you are asking questions to advance in spiritual life, it's as much a limb of bhakti as japa. Okay, you can say japa is my face and this inquiry is my like little finger, but it's part of your body. It's devotional service. Asking questions. After all, that's what Parikshit did. Asking questions in Bhagavatam. Okay. There won't be any Shravanam for Parikshit if he had not asked any question. What would he be hearing? Because after all, Shukdev Goswami only answered his questions. That is not Shukdev Goswami was just blabbering and he just went there and sat there. It was going on and he just sat there. No. So only after he asked questions did he start speaking. So the Shravanacharya is Shravanacharya on the strength of asking questions. Okay, now this is another one. Being prepared to give anything material for the satisfaction of Krishna. Okay. So, yeah, this is what could they say that? Getting that. Sri Krishna Arthe Sarvabhuta Tyagam. That's the Sanskrit. Shri Krishna Arthe Sarva. So being prepared to give up anything for the pleasure of Krishna is a do, not a don't. Okay. So that thing, this symbolic thing is generally done in the Chaturmasya. When devotees, like give up that sweet. Many devotees do that, right? Giving up sweet. But that has got more to do with like reducing their weight than actually has to give up something for the pleasure of Krishna. But actually the principle is this. Okay. This is another one limba bhakti. These are all for advancement. Remember. Okay. If this first 10 are executed, you will continue to advance. Residing in a sacred place of pilgrimage at Dwarka and Vrindavan. It is a fact. Accepting only whatever is necessary. Yavadartha arthita. Yes. Whatever is required. That means dealing with the material world as far as it is necessary. To deal. It's not that you cannot deal or you don't need to deal or you should not deal. You must deal as far as necessary. Necessary for what? Necessary for devotional service. Otherwise this sentence remains incomplete. You might feel it's incomplete. It is only required as much as it is required to maintain devotional service. Certain things are required to maintain devotional service. Okay. Then observing fasting on Ekadashi. Ekadashi Vrata. Harivasara. In Sanskrit it says Harivasara. Okay. This is what it is. And 10th is worshipping sacred trees like the banyan tree. It includes Tulsi. In the explanation, you will find it. In the explanation, you will find banyan, Tulsi, fig tree, all of that. You will find this. So these 10 things are required for advancement in spiritual life. Okay. You will be in spiritual life and will also advance. And the first 3 are absolutely necessary. Pandit Garadhar Prabhu, go on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Yes,
I have a
sir.
question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Go on.
Okay. So Prabhuji, when we talk about taking shelter and taking initiation, these are two different things. So isn't
Yes,
our initiating spiritual master is also giving a shelter?
that's the point. Even for Siksha or Diksha, both you can take shelter, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Taking shelter is not taking initiation. Taking shelter
Yes,
means
Prabhuji.
it's like same thing, like getting engaged. This is like getting married. Initiation. You can break the engagement if you wish. That's far better than a broken marriage. That's the idea.
Okay.
Go on.
And Prabhuji, I have another question. You quoted one of the Srila Prabhupada quotes stating that Srila Prabhupada often quoted that we do not need spiritual master in case we do not want to advance further in bhakti.
Yeah, many times.
Okay, so Prabhuji, when a new person joins in, so certainly he takes siksha first from their mentors or from their peers, from their seniors,
Yes.
and after
Yes.
a certain level of advancement in bhakti, only then they decided to take initiation or not. So isn't
Mhm.
this advancement also from the point of view from the mentors or from the siksha guru as well?
You are mixing things. Thank you for a
Okay.
question. But yeah, thank you for a question. But you said something which is unusual. This is a very usual question because this kind of confusion is rampant in ISKCON thanks to the preachers actually. So the preacher, whatever the preacher is a sadhu. Okay. The preacher is a sadhu. Preacher is not guru. That why? Because that's what the Shastra says. Sadhu sang sarva shastra ka. It doesn't say guru sang guru sang. Because all the gurus are sadhus. But all the sadhus are not gurus. Neither they need to be gurus. So our 99% of our spiritual life, the advancement is based on this thing, this advancement of sadhu sangha. So these are what you see, the first three. These are different aspects of first five, in fact, different aspects of sadhu sangha. It's all sadhu sangha. That's why one of the five limbs of bhakti is sadhu sangha. So it's sadhu sangha. Now all the preachers in ISKCON are sadhus. Now we have like come up with different terminologies, mentors, counselors, uh, basic coaches. Okay. Basically, this is all coming from because when we kind of post Prabhupada, that you won't find any of these. Okay, fine. Okay, just hang on. Just hang on for a minute. Let's break a bubble. Okay. Let's break a bubble. Yeah, a list of all Prabhupada's books. Okay. Can see Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Chaitamrit, all other books. Okay. All books. All lectures of Prabhupada, audio transcripts, you see. All lectures of Prabhupada. All correspondence, all the letters Prabhupada has ever written. Okay. All the letters written by from Prabhupada's offices also. Nothing is remaining. Fair enough?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Let's see this. Counselor. Okay. Krishna, you are my very dear friend, well-wisher, counselor, messenger, benefactor. Acting as the cousin brother, well-wisher, counselor, messenger, benefactor. What does the counselor means? Sachitvam. Sachiv. As we use in Hindi, actually it's a Sanskrit term. Sachivam. Okay. It's in Bhagavatam. Let's see what other Prabhupada talked about counselor. Chariot driver and counselor. Same. Uddhava was the best counselor of Vishnu dynasty. Why? Same. Sachiva. Counselor. Mantri, you see? Advisor. Let's see other counselors. In every country, those who are a counselor matter of giving people good ideas. Advisor. Expert advisor, counselor. Vidura was an expert advisor and counselor. These are all lectures from Prabhupada, by the way. City councillor. You find any of this, is this term in any of Prabhupada's books? Any letters, any lecture for 12 years? Okay,
No,
let's have another one. Mentor. Religious mentor. So actually Prabhupada used it in a negative connotation. You can read that. 39 to 12. Prabhupada has used it in a negative connotation. But anyway, that's like connotations can change. Again, is it? This is like Prabhupada's Tamal Krishna Maharaj is reading. What is he reading? A newspaper report, you see? What does it say? It's a newspaper report. And the report says that Prabhupada was charged by his spiritual mentor. That means Bhakti Siddhanta. So you can see the kind of usage of these terms during Prabhupada's times and Prabhupada himself. And you can compare that with your understanding of these terms, thanks to the preachers. So if your understanding remains the same as it was before you were part of a Bhakti Shastri, I don't see any reason why should you be why should you be part of a Bhakti Shastri, because nothing has improved, nothing has changed. Okay, so this is what it is. A
I
Siksha
got your
Guru,
point, Prabhuji.
a Siksha Guru is a Siksha Guru, and that means Guru is a Guru. Now within the Guru there's a Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, that's a different thing. A Guru is a Guru. Our spiritual life is 99% dependent on sadhus, which includes the Guru. Okay, and then there is Shastra. It is the same dhatu, Shas dhatu in Sanskrit. From the Shas dhatu comes Shastra. From the Shas dhatu comes Shastra. From the Shas dhatu comes Sishya. All three things. Because the Shas means to rule over. So Shastra means to rule over. Shastra again to rule over. And Shishya, the one who is being ruled. That's the seven substance. So unfortunately, these days, people are, of course, neither their qualification is there. You will see the qualifications in Nectar of Instruction. Okay. So anybody can be a Siksha Guru. But anybody can be most of them, you will end up seeing a third class Siksha Guru. If he is a first class devotee, that means Uttam Adhikari. And if he accepts you, then you have got a first class Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru. If you accept a second class person, a Madhyama, as your Siksha or Diksha Guru, and he also accepts you back, then you have got a second class Siksha or Diksha Guru. And if it's a third class person, a neophyte, okay, Kanishta Adhikari, and you accept him as your Siksha or Diksha Guru, and he also accepts you as a Siksha and Diksha disciple, then you have got a third class Siksha or Diksha Guru. There are no in-betweens. There's been a whole ISKCON-wide attempt to create an in-between in the name of mentor, counselor, and so many other things, coaches, this, that. Because the initiating spiritual masters and also the GBC is scared of that. They think that if you tell that, yeah, you can have also anybody as Siksha Guru, but at the same time, you will be responsible for having such kind of Siksha Guru. So they've come up with something which Prabhupada never came up. Prabhupada was very, very clear about it. Prabhupada never said that you will have mentor, counselor, this thing, that thing. He said you will always have your senior god brothers and you can take Siksha from them. They are sadhus, and if you wish, you can have personal Siksha relationships. So That's how it used to be. That's how it was always. So what it is. Let's move ahead. These are all topics of ISKCON Disciples course. This is not. Anyway. So where were we? Let's see. We were discussing the first three, I remember. And we discussed first 10. We just named them. So now comes the exercise or our exercise. How many teams are present at, like, how many members of the teams are present? I'm not very sure. I have to figure out where are the group names. Let me see where are they. Find that out. That was there in your Bhakti Shastri group, right? Yes, Shubham Prabhu, one group. Krishna Priya Maji, another. Komal Mataji, I can see Komal Maji is there. I saw her. Yeah, she's here. Okay, fine. And then, oh, this one, Keshavi Jayada Mataji, Tulsi Maji. Where are they? All three of them. Oh, Krishna Kanaya is alone.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh my God. Where are team members have left you to dry in the sun? Okay, let's see. Jyoti Maji, Ashika, I can see. Where's Jyoti Maji? It's not there. Oh yeah, Jyoti Maji is here. Okay, fine. Okay. All right. So let's have them. How many? One poem per group or 3 poems per group? How many poems have everybody come up with? One only?
Three poems per group.
Three groups, three poems per group. That will be difficult because, like, I think some groups have only come up with one poem, right? Dayamaji, yours is only one?
Yes, Prabhuji, one.
Okay.
One in that one only 4 lines.
Fair enough. Okay, let's start with your group then. Then we will have others. Right? Karunamai Chitralekha Mataji, you might ask the our Shruti Priya Maji. She can, like, take out this section separately. You know? It's gonna be, yeah. Go on. Okay, fine. We are all ears. Dayamaji, who's gonna do that? You, Devika, or Komal?
I am going to do that.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
Prabhuji, I have
Shairi?
only tried Urdu. Yes,
Shairi,
Urdu
yeah.
shairi.
Irshad.
इरशाद बोले
इरशाद का मतलब शुरू कीजिए, आगाज कीजिए, बिस्मिल्लाह कीजिए.
सेवा प्रसादम साधु संग है सेवा प्रसादम साधु संग है मेरी रोज की कहानी. संकीर्तन और जपा के नाम है मेरी जिंदगानी.
शाबाश.
जिसके दर्शन से मिले मेरी आंखों को राहत, उस कृष्ण की पूजा और कथा है मेरी चाहत.
Tremendous. Write this down in the WhatsApp group. Everybody has got permission to write, right? Message, or like you have got admins. Yeah, write this down there. It's tremendous. Wow. दाद बनती है.
8 limbs are there in 4 lines.
Yeah, so I can count that. Just count that. Tremendous, tremendous. Okay, next group. Hey, how about Vishaka and Harshika? They were part of the Jyoti, right? Jyoti Maji, you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go on.
Uh,
Let's have it.
we have written 3 poems, Prabhuji. So which
One after another.
We will sing 3 one by one.
Okay.
okay,
Oh,
Prabhuji.
now we have got songs, not just poems.
Okay. Start with Jyoti Mataji, I guess.
Okay, Jyoti Maji, go on.
ओके आओ आओ सब आओ कृष्णा कॉन्शियस अपनाओ आध्यात्मिक गुरु के शरण लेकर सेवा देकर गुण सीखकर गुरु आशीष के साथ अपना जीवन सफल बनाओ आओ आओ सब आओ कृष्णा कॉन्शियस अपनाओ सुख दुख का करो त्याग एकादशी के दिन रखो उपवास श्रवण कीर्तन और मनन लेकर चले हम कृष्णा की तरफ
अच्छा, 8 हो गए।
हम्म
राइट, पहले में 4 थे, दूसरे में 4। वेरी गुड, ट्रिमेंडस। ओके, विशाखा, हर्षिका,
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
गो ऑन।
अब बहुत हुए हैं जन्म व्यर्थ, इस जन्म को सफल बनाए। गले में पहने तुलसी माला, वैष्णव तिलक लगाए। गुरु से दीक्षा लेकर सारे यम नियम अपनाए। हर जगह और मंदिर जाकर संकीर्तन में नाचे गाए। वृंदावन में वास करें, सब भक्तों को प्रणाम करें। कृष्णा को निहारें और चरणामृत का पान करें। फिर जीवन कृष्ण के नाम करें और घर को वापस जाएं। अब बहुत हुए हैं जन्म व्यर्थ, इस जन्म को सफल बनाएं।
क्या बात है। 11, काउंटेड 11। विशाखा माँ जी ले गए आप। क्या बात। Harshika, let's see if Harshika can top you. Harshika Maji, you think you can top that?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm starting. कृष्णा की महिमा सुन ले रे बंदे, उसका तो गुणगान कर ले रे बंदे। दुनिया ये धोखा देगी रे बंदे, कृष्णा को तू याद कर ले रे बंदे। उसकी आराधना तू कर ले रे बंदे। इतने अपराध जो किए हैं रे बंदे, कृष्णा को भोग लगा ले रे बंदे। फिर वो प्रसाद खाकर मलनाश कर ले। गीता और भागवत पढ़ ले रे बंदे। हर मुमकिन कोशिश कर ले रे बंदे। घर को अगर वापिस जाना है बंदे, गुरु की शरणागति आज कर ले।
Stop. It's like, yeah, you have raised the bar. हमने 8 की बात की थी. Both of you are above 10. Shabash. Okay. So who goes next? Shubham Prabhu, ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go on. देखते हैं क्या होता है.
गुरुपाद आश्रय की महिमा इतनी न्यारी, करवाई उन्होंने हमारी गोलोक जाने की तैयारी। सिखाया हमें भक्तों का करना संग, श्रवण कीर्तन करके माया ने फिर कभी ना करा हमें तंग। सिखाया हमें कैसे करे भगवान को नमस्कार, जगाया दृढ़ संकल्प कि कैसे भौतिक सुखों का करे तिरस्कार। करे मूर्ख सिर्फ एक ही अरदास, रखो मुझे सेवा द्वारा हमेशा कृष्ण के पास।
7. Okay. 7 of them. Shabash. Not easy. Getting all of that. Okay, आपके टीम मेंबर्स where are they? एक ही था आपके ग्रुप से, otherwise we will move ahead.
One, only one, Prabhuji.
Okay. How is it possible? You have got Vaibhavi Mataji, Karunamai Chitralekha Maji. सबने मिलके एक बनाया है।
Radhuri Mataji has also one prayer. She has
ठीक है,
written.
हाँ
भाभी
ठीक है
माता के
ठीक
पास
है।
है शायद से।
भाई माजी के पास है?
Hare
शायद
Krishna,
से।
Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
So बस माजी, go on,
All are so good that mine, I don't think I can present it.
come on. You have to go down bad. You have to just be there.
मंगल गान हर मंगला गाऊं, सुगंधित पुष्पों से तेरे चरण सजाऊं, रोज तुझे स्वादिष्ट भोग लगाऊं, गुरु और साधुओं का संग कर तेरे ही कीर्तन गाऊं, मंदिर मार्जन कर तुझे रिझाऊं, सबको सम्मान एक समान दूं और तेरे नाम का प्रचार कर पाऊं, हर जन्म यही कर पाऊं, बस यही आशीर्वाद देना मेरे भगवान।
8 के 8, all 8. Shabash, you managed that mark.
थैंक यू
Manage
प्रभुजी।
that mark. Hold on that thought for सबको सम्मान दे पाऊं. Just hold on that thought. Remind me that later on. Okay. Okay. Bhavika Maji, you want to go?
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yes, of course.
श्री कृष्ण संकीर्तन है सबसे प्यारा, लागे मन को मोहना न्यारा, चित्त का मार्जन करने वाला, आनंद वृद्धि हृदय भाला, हरि नाम है अति गुणकारी, जन्म मरण महादवानल दुख हारी, हे गोविंद हे नंद गोपाल, मैं तुम्हार किंकर दास, नयन अविरल भय अश्रुधार, सदा रहे दर्शन की आस, चंदन तिलक मोहे लगे मन भावन, चरणामृत ग्रहण कर आनंद पावन, श्री ब्रज धाम लगे अति प्यारे, सदा पहुंचे उनके द्वार, श्रवण करूं भागवतम रस, बना रहे वैष्णव संग, नमो नमो तुलसी महारानी, नित्य अर्पण आरती दुपानी, सेवा का दीजिए अधिकार, बना दीजिए गोपीदास, करते रहे गुरु चरण वंदना, कृष्ण प्राप्ति का है मार्ग, अपनावे सदा सदैव भक्ति के 64 अंग, भजमन जाप माला के संग, रमजा भक्त श्याम रंग।
All 8. Long but 8. She managed all 8. Shabash. Shabash. We have got so many poets amongst us.
प्रभुजी,
Okay. All right. I counted 8. I don't know, maybe 10. You didn't you mentioned many limbs, but you didn't add it like I want to do them. So mention 8 of them which you want to do. Mention more. You mentioned many more. But actually, what was like the sadhana part, you mentioned 8. That's what I could count, maybe more. But yeah, I counted many more. Notice many more when you mentioned them. But like, yeah. All right, good. Next group is gonna come. This is done. This is done. Krishna Kanai Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, तुलसी
He's
माता
our
जी हैज,
youngest. Krishna
सॉरी
Kanai
प्रभु
Prabhu,
जी,
youngest member. Okay, to please pay attention to him. Go on.
प्रभु जी तुलसी माता जी वुड स्पीक द पोएम।
Where is Tulsi? She's not there. Oh, she's here. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. She's here right from the start. But Tulsi का internet problem है. नहीं. Sorry. वो दामनी का internet problem है. Sorry. Yes, Tulsi Maji, go ahead. I don't know whether she's there or not. In that case, we might come back. You know? Let's come back and then where is Tulsi? She disappeared. Must be having an internet problem. Okay. Krishna Priya Mataji. You had Bhavika Maji amongst yourselves, right?
Yeah, we have actually prepared 3 poems. So
Go
if you
on.
allow, so I
Yeah,
will
it's
ask
all.
Badadhar Prabhu. Then after that, I will speak. Badadhar
Really?
Prabhu? Yeah.
Where is Pandit
Prabhuji,
Devaki?
I won't be able to recite. I'll share it on WhatsApp. Actually, I'm outside
Okay,
somewhere, so I'm in
fair
traveling.
enough.
Yes, sorry,
Fair
Prabhuji.
enough. So then Krishna Priya Mataji,
So Prabhuji, I
floor
will
is
chant.
yours.
कृष्ण ओ कृष्ण मुझे दर्शन दो कृष्ण, श्रवण कीर्तन और स्मरण भक्ति के ये प्रथम चरण, पाद सेवन अर्चन वंदन प्रभु का करते नित्य ध्यान, दास्य साक्ष्य और आत्मनिवेदन प्रेम का हो यह अर्पण, गुंडीचा मंदिर की सेवा से करें हम चेतो दर्पण मार्जन, कृष्ण ओ कृष्ण मुझे दर्शन दो कृष्ण, गुरु के चरणों में शरण, विनम्रता का व्रत हो सार, प्रभु की लीलाओं का श्रवण मन को करें पवित्र और निर्मल, कृष्ण का नाम निरंतर जाप, मन में हो उनका निवास, धाम यात्रा का करें संकल्प, भक्ति में हो यह विश्वास, कृष्ण ओ कृष्ण मुझे दर्शन दो कृष्ण, भोग अर्पण और प्रसाद का सेवन, प्रेम में हो यह अभिव्यक्ति, नृत्य और गान में रमण, भक्ति में हो यह शक्ति, अहंकार का करे परित्याग, विनम्रता का हो जीवन का आधार, सभी जीवों से प्रेम का व्यवहार, यही है प्रेम भक्ति का सार, कृष्ण ओ कृष्ण मुझे दर्शन दो कृष्ण, कृष्ण के प्रिय भक्तों की सेवा, संतों का हो सम्मान, धैर्य और क्षमा का पालन, हर दिन हो यह विधान, माला का जाप और ध्यान, मन में हो यह संकल्प, भक्ति के यह 64 टंग, प्रेम में हो यह सजीव कल्प।
17 longest till yet. 17. माय गॉड, आपने ऐसा मार्क लगा दिया, अब इसके ऊपर को जाना मुश्किल होगा. Practically double what was required. Okay, so I don't know whether we have gotten something on the chat. I believe, I think something has been posted here. Oh, that is Dayamaji posting. Shabash. Okay, so here we are. Tulsi Maji is back. Tulsi Maji, your turn.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Go on. आपकी बारी.
Prabhuji, as written on in the task, it was that you have to maximum use 8 limbs of bhakti, right?
It's okay. You go on. Don't worry about the limbs. We'll take care of that.
No, Prabhuji, actually, I wrote a poem, but I just wrote it 8 limbs of bhakti, not more than that.
It's okay. That was the requirement.
Okay.
Somebody came up with more than that. That's more. The more the merrier. That's all. Go on.
Okay. Prabhuji, sorry, I
Oh,
cannot open my camera because
you don't need
of
to.
internet.
I understand that. We just need your voice, and we
So
have
I'm
your
going to start.
yes. Go on.
आपका दर्शन करने को दिल करता है, आपका नाम जपने से दिल को सुकून मिलता है, आपके बारे में सुनना अच्छा लगता है, आपका कीर्तन करके मन शुद्ध होता है, आपके भक्तों का संग करना मेरा सौभाग्य है, आपकी सेवा करना मेरा धर्म, आप, आपका महाप्रसादम खाना मेरा नसीब है, आप नसीब है, अब किया है मैंने खुद को आपके हवाले, अब आप जानो मेरे लिए क्या बुरा है क्या भला है. That's it, probably.
Shabash. All 8. 8 lines, 8 limbs. Right on target. Right on mark. Zabardast.
Yeah.
Zabardast. Okay. Who's remaining? I'm still trying to track them down. Who is remaining? Devika Maji is remaining? No. It's part of the same group, right? Tanvi Maji.
Devika is traveling.
That's okay. That's okay. Tanvi, no. Okay. I think it's done, right? So that was like more or less, we had got around 25 limbs, different limbs. 25 different limbs. There were some devotees, many of them were common, but some of them were different. Around 25 limbs were covered. Quite an achievement. Quite an achievement. Really. Oh, okay. Tulsi Ma just sent a message. Okay, so now that this items have been taken care of, yes, Krishna Kanaya Prabhu, go on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wrote my poem in English. I thought the poems were
Yes,
both.
why not? We already mentioned that it has to be, can be a poem, it can be a kavita, it can be shairi. Go on.
64 petals of devotion's lotus helps eradicate all inauspicious locus. Devotee association spark ignites the flame of mercy. Chanting diamond like holy names ensures spiritual aristocracy. Humility is foundation for willingness to grow. Observing Ekadashi and hearing Lord's glories as the heart eternally knows. Surrender is a gentle whisper, an important step to take. In love sweet service, where souls forever partake. Service is like a gentle stream, flows into the deity worship sea, residing in Vrindavan, where Lord's glories forever set free.
That's it? Okay, good. That's a valiant effort. I could count 7 active limbs. I could count 7 active limbs. Maybe I missed something. I could count 7 active limbs. Is Krishna Kanaya Prabhu is our youngest member. So let's have a round of applause for Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Joy. Joy. So, yes, so this like basically coming out of that shell and discussing different limbs. So these limbs, it's like these are limbs. Did we discuss 64 limbs, Bhakti Devi, their connection to Rahu? Did we discuss that? No? That's a very important discussion. Maybe like we can spare some time for this and then we will go to the next part. Okay, fine. Harinam. Okay. He is Harinam is a he, by the way. Okay. So how do we address Harinam respectfully? Only Harinam. Address Harinam respectfully. It's very common. Everybody says that. Yeah. Shubham Prabhu, go on.
We say Harinam Prabhu actually.
Yeah. Harinam Prabhu. It's basically Krishna. Harinam Prabhu. Okay, fine. So now Bhakti, she has got a feminine nature. Right? She's got a feminine nature. So what do we generally address Bhakti with respect? Just like for Harinam. Yeah, bye bye Maji.
Bhakti Devi.
Yeah, Devi. Okay. Like all initiated devotees, they are also addressed as Devi Dasis. Okay, so the Devi. So now Bhakti Devi. So Devi, Bhakti, we can assume that she will be very beautiful, right? Can assume that Bhakti Devi will be quite beautiful. Okay, that's not wrong. It's a correct assumption. Okay. Now say for example, there is this beautiful girl, very beautiful girl. Okay. Okay. Can one of our Matajis volunteer to be that beautiful girl? Ashika, Vaibhavi, Maji, Vishaka Maji, any of them would like to volunteer? Komal Maji, all of them. Yeah, Vavika, Karuna Mai, Daya. Okay, Komal Maji volunteers. Okay, Komal Maji. Thank you, Komal Maji, for being volunteer. I will ensure that you are not the victim. Volunteer. So now Komal Maji, you see, let us focus on Komal Maji. Spotlight her. Okay, is Komal Maji. So Komal Maji is a beautiful girl. So now what happens if Komal Maji does not have one of the legs, say right leg? It's missing. What would be our attitude or what would be our heart feeling for Komal Maji? How would we see? Yes, Vaibhavi Maji, go on.
Sympathetically. Probably
Sympathetic.
sympathy.
Yes, we're very sympathetic towards her. Will be sympathy. Yeah? Oh, she doesn't have a leg. What happens if, let's, like I'm raising the bar. What happens if she doesn't have two legs, both the legs? Now what would be the reaction? What do you think? How would you feel looking at Komal Mataji? She doesn't have, she have lost both her legs.
Empathy, Prabhuji.
Pity. Krishna Kanaya Prabhu says pity. Yes. There might be like, like in India and Pakistan, the culture is more or less the same culture. It might be some, like elderly lady, she may come and she may pat on her back and say, oh, such a beautiful, pretty girl. I would have, like मैंने तो इसको अपना बेटे के लिए रिश्ते के लिए मैं मांग लेती, टांग नहीं बेचारी. Right? This is how 60 plus generally in India and Pakistan, same mindset. Now, what if now I'm still raising the bar ahead? What happens if now Komal Maji doesn't have both of her arms? Why, Bhavi Mataji?
Prabhuji, I heard a comment regarding such body type that, oh, poor girl.
Yes. Not just poor girl. Now you will be blaming the Lord up in the heavens.
Why
अरे,
God did this with her?
नहीं
She's
है,
so
yeah,
pretty.
नहीं है. How is it that like you can do such a thing, horrible thing to a beautiful girl like that? There are people like that. I have personally seen. There's a video. One of my like friends, Laksha, he made a video like on such a girl, and he got an award. She stays here in nearby in Govardhan, and every day she goes for the Govardhan parikrama in that cart driven by his father. I forgot her name. Very charming girl. So yeah, now I'm going still further up. Now Komal Maji doesn't have the torso, entire torso missing. Only the face. And mind you, the face is alive. Now, what would be your reaction? Komal Maji just with her face alive.
We won't be able to see her.
That's all?
प्रभु जी मैं
Is
आए
that, is that so? Bus?
देख ही नहीं पाएंगे.
प्रभु जी डायलॉग होता कि पैदा होते ही मर गई होती, वो ज्यादा अच्छा था.
हाँ, वो अलग है, पर वो मरी नहीं है, सिर्फ गर्दन है. Yes,
तो
Shubham Prabhu,
terrified,
scared.
terrified,
Maji scared. शुभम प्रभु क्या होगा?
terrified.
Terrified. Why? अब चुड़ैल लग रही है.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Right? Or we can say like Rahu. Like Rahu. Pandit Gadadhar Prabhu, go on.
Prabhuji, we sometimes also say कि भगवान ऐसा किसी को ना बनाए.
हाँ वो तो है ही है, बट पहले जब भगवान मेरी जान बचाए. Is it not? So now, with only that beautiful face, without the entire torso, becomes horrible. And so far Komal Maji is concerned, let's look at her plight. Her plight becomes like Rahu. Alive? Okay? But whatever she intakes, she cannot keep it. She loses that. राहु है ना, चांद सूरज निकलता है और निकल जाता है, निकलता है और निकल जाता है. So that is the we were talking about. Originally, Komal Maji is representing whom?
Rahu.
Who is she? No, who was she originally?
भक्ति देवी।
भक्ति देवी। तो मैं भक्ति देवी का क्या हाल किया? उनका फेस छोड़ दिया. we left it at that. The head is remaining, everything else is gone. So the head is one limb of bhakti, one limb of the body, is it not? So if you only have one limb of the body and the rest of the 63 are missing, what happens to the body? Even if it survives, what happens to the body? I gave an analogy.
It looks horrible, Prabhuji.
Horrible, and yet it becomes a Rahu. So you made a Rahu out of the Bhakti Devi. And what is that Rahu? Rahu means whatever bhakti you are executing, you are not able to maintain it. So when we are talking about Bhakti Devi, we are talking about bhakti with all her limbs intact. We are not talking about disabled Bhakti Devi. See? है ना? अपाहिज भक्ति देवी की बात नहीं कर रहे. So all 64 limbs makes the complete Bhakti Devi. Komal looks beautiful because all the limbs are in their place. Just as all of us, all the devotees here are beautiful because all the limbs are in their proper places and working. Similarly, bhakti also works properly when all the limbs are utilized. See, if you don't have the complete package, don't expect to work it completely. Is that very unfair? Is this proposition very unfair? You don't have all the limbs, still you want it to work perfectly. Is it fair or it's unfair?
Unfair.
Unfair. Okay. So same thing. So now with this in mind, when you read this entire chapter and the subsequent 7 chapters, bear that in mind. Which limbs of bhakti are missing from your life? And that is the answer to that often asked question. Prabhuji, is it not like chanting is everything? You chant and then everything else is taken care of. It's just like if I do not sever your head sorry, takes care automatically. So if I sever your head, the body dies. Right? So I do the other way around. I sever the body out of the head. Now what? Getting my point? That's what bhakti is all about. You can take out chanting from the Hare Krishna, chanting from the bhakti, and the body dies. True. True. You take out the chanting, Harina, and the 63 limbs will die on their own. You take all the 63 limbs out of the Harinam, the Harinam starts functioning like a Rahu. And that's why even after years and years of practice, Harinam, neglecting all parts of bhakti, it doesn't function the way it should be functioning because the package is incomplete. Komal Maji just represented any of us. How many of us will like to do away with parts of our bodies? and yet expected to function absolutely fine normally. That's the same for bhakti. Cannot go on amputating Bhakti Devi, and yet expect her to function perfectly for us. Okay, so that's the relevance of the 64 limbs. No amputation. Let's move ahead now. I think I've got a couple of messages. I don't know what are they. Okay, they were like reaction comments. Okay, so now with this, we have exactly 14 devotees. Wow, that's good. That's good. Let's do this. We will divide ourselves in pairs, okay, and discuss different limbs of bhakti. Okay. So this is it. Whoever is going to be on group number 1 will be discussing the first 3 limbs. Okay. Group number 2, 4 to 6. Karnama Chitralekha, can you take a, or maybe I can do that. No, it will be difficult for me to do it like that. Can you take a snapshot and post it in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So group number 1 will be having the first 3. Group number 2 will have 4 to 6. Group number 3 will have 7 to 9. 4, is it like this? Okay. 19 we are not discussing. Okay. So we will be using chapter number 7 and chapter number 9. Okay. 20. Number 20 limb is in chapter number 9. Okay, the first one. And everything else is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you just count it down and take your share, and we are gonna have just discuss. Just tell us briefly what they are. Okay. How much time do you think you need? 20 minutes? Good enough? Okay. All right. So let's move ahead and go for the 20 minutes. And we will be discussing, oh, let's share, I'm sorry. Breakout rooms, we have got 7 rooms. Eight. Option. Go ahead. Group number 1, 2. Rush, rush, rush. Take your groups. Go into your groups. Rush. Ruchika Maji. Oh, Tulsi is not assigned yet. Group number 7. Tulsi, go on. Avika Maji, go on and join your group. Tanvi Mataji, in case you are there, join the group. Tulsi, you have been assigned a group. Please join.
Okay.
7. Oh, wait. Don't go into room number 7 now. Wait. Room number 4. You go with Tulsi. Tulsi, go to room number 4. I have shifted you to room number 4. Daya,
Okay.
please. Yeah, go ahead. Komal, how come you came outside?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Devika is not available.
Oh, I see. That's okay. So you can choose. I don't know how will you choose, because this Mataji never responds. Tulsi,
Prabhu,
please join. Please join in.
Prabhuji, I didn't got any kind of message.
Okay, so then let's see if I can send you to Jyoti. I'll sending you to Jyoti. But I did send you to Komal Maji, I'm sending you to room number. Where should I send you now? Okay, I'm sending you to room number 2. Right.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, I joined the room, but I don't know why I'm just getting out of it.
Okay, I'm sending you back to Daya. Okay, I'm sending you back to Daya. See, going to Daya, room number 4. Click that. Found it? Found it? Tulsi? Found it? Tulsi? Did you found it? There must be a. Tulsi Maji, Hare Krishna. Jyoti must be alone. Know what to do with Jyoti now. Yes, Tulsi Maji, आप बार-बार बाहर आ रहे हैं ना?
I think due to my internet connection, I could
कोई दिक्कत नहीं,
join.
मैं दोबारा I'm trying to send you back again.
Through internet connection, I think issue हो रहा है.
Yeah, quite possible. I'm just trying to send if it's possible. I'm just trying. भाविका माजी, आप कौन से रूम में थे?
प्रभु जी,
भाविका
I
माजी?
was not able to join only because मेरा
Same.
कुछ issue हो गया.
Same issue. Okay, I'm sending you with Jyoti. No, I'm sending you with Jyoti Mataji, room number 3. आई एम सेंडिंग यू बैक। जो माजी आपको मिल गया होगा, भाविका माजी, क्लिक कीजिए, आप पहुंच जाएंगे इस रूम में, रूम नंबर 3। तुलसी माजी, आई एम अगेन ट्राइंग। ओके, नहीं भी जा सकते तो डोंट वरी, घबराना नहीं। ओके, भाविका माजी, अब दोबारा बाहर आ गए।
जी प्रभु जी, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है।
एक सेकंड, मैं आपको किसी और रूम में भेज के वापस वहां भेजता हूँ, रुको, होल्ड करना।
हाँ
अभी
जी।
क्लिक मत करना, क्लिक मत करना, क्लिक मत
ओके
करना,
ओके
रुको रुको
प्रभु जी,
रुको।
ओके।
आप जाओ, वीडियो ऑफ कर दीजिए, शायद आसान होगा ज्वाइन करना। गुड। तुलसी माँ जी, आपका शायद नहीं हो पाएगा, आप वेट करो, फिर क्या कर सकते हैं।
प्रभु जी, आई हैव एन आइडिया, कैन आई शेयर इट? हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
यस माँ जी, क्या करूँ मैं, बताओ, मैं तो कोशिश कर रहा हूँ बार बार भेजने की, नाम ना नहीं जा रहा हूँ, क्या करूँ, तो बहुत परेशान मैं अभी। बेस्ट, वेट करो, क्या, जा ही नहीं पा रहे जब।
प्रभु जी, मैं दया के साथ व्हाट्सएप पे कांटेक्ट करके फिर रिप्रेजेंटेशन कर दूं यहाँ पे, मतलब
कर लो, या हाँ, ये भी अच्छा आइडिया, ऐसा कर लो, ऐसा कर लो, ऐसा कर लो,
हम
ये
ऐसा
कर
कर
लो,
लेते,
ये,
ठीक है।
हाँ ठीक। All right, so everybody is coming back. The time से पहले खत्म हो गया. Good. Very good. Most of them are here. Let's wait for half a second. Oh, sorry, half a minute, and then we can continue. In the meantime, I think I forgot to discuss about this book. Wait. So here we are. Okay, before we begin, it's important for me to show you this one. I forgot that. Any of you familiar with this book? Waves of Devotion? Let me try and open it in the new window. Yeah, this one. Any of you familiar with this book? Waves of Devotion? It's a comprehensive study, as you can see, of nectar of devotion. Okay, by Dhanodhar Swami. Okay, His Holiness Damodar Maharaj. So this is, if you can get hold of this book, that's, yeah, you will find all the, like Sanskrit equivalents, all these verses, Sanskrit verses we were seeing, and detailed notes on this. It's a very, like, this is highly recommended, because this is again published by VIHE. The publication is done, it's a VIHE publication, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. It's publication. So I would strongly advocate, if you can somehow, like, lay your hands on this book. It's the back cover. Okay. So I would strongly suggest that you have this book with yourself. Okay. Waves of Devotion. It's just like Surrender Unto Me for Bhagavad Gita. Waves of Devotion for, as I said, Nectar of Devotion. Very, very useful book. So there is also a website. Maharaj's personal website is also there, Waves of Devotion. But the book itself is very useful. You can find that book. Okay, now let's go back and start with, how about starting with item number 20? Let's go to item number 20, and from there, let's see, where are we? Item number 20. Blasphemy.
Yes, sorry.
Wait. That's it. Go on. We have got, who are they? Like, it was Harshika Mataji and Karuna Mai Chitralekha?
Yes, sorry. Harshika Madhavi, Vishakha Madhavi, and me.
Hmm.
So the 20th lens is one should be yeah, वैसे तो one should be very tolerant, but if there is blasphemy against the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees, then one should not be tolerant, and he should be intolerant to God. And we can give example of Lord of Hanuman when Ravan committed offense against Lord Sri Ram, then Hanuman fought very well in the whole war.
So this is the most important part of the, how one is supposed to react. See? So, like, it is like it's a chronology. The best is you should be able to defeat the opposing party. For doing that, you must be on the level, at least, try to come by your sadhana, come to the level of Madhyamadikari. Then generally you won't be defeated. To do that, one needs to be on the category of Madhyamadikari to do that. If he's not able to do that, like say for example, he's a Kanishta Adhikari, so he should leave that place. Okay. This is the most that one must leave that place and go away. Okay. And the third step, what we say is one gives up his life. That's just to show the seriousness of the issue. Shastra does not support suicide. So then this is just to show the seriousness of the issue. Should not be taken lightly. Okay. It doesn't say that you kill somebody else. It doesn't mention you kill the opposite party. Rather, you leave your life. You give up your life. It's just to show the seriousness of the issue. It's the spirit, not the letter. What happens if you try to follow the letter of the Shastra here? What do you think? What happens if you try to follow the Shastra to the letter here? Yes, Shubham Prabhu, what's going to happen?
Not able to preach because people will
Forget preaching.
blaspheme.
Forget preaching. ISKCON will close down. Will have criminal cases against it. See, even somebody can take that to the court and show that they are preaching like voluntary suicide. This is academic integrity. So the spirit, not the letter. So here also we are not proposing to kill others. We are not proposing violence. But at the same time, this is also another kind of violence, not supported by the Shastra. So it is just telling you the spirit. That means never say die. You must defeat the other party or you leave that place. There must be some reaction. You should at least protest. It should not go without protest. When you start hearing that blasphemy, you get used to it. So that's the idea. All right, let's go to, we had like, I believe, 13 to 15. Who's 13 to 15?
Prabhuji, it's us.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Krishna
Hare
Kanai
Krishna,
Prabhu,
Prabhuji.
sorry.
Krishna Kanai Prabhu. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the 13th one is one should not be enthusiastic about constructing costly temples or monasteries.
Mm-hmm. Do you
So,
have anything
Prabhuji,
to add to it?
yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as we know that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur advised Prabhupada to print books and preach them. That's the only purpose of, that's the first priority of a devotee, of a preacher. One should print books, and with the money that you get, you should print more books and preach them. Only source of income, and that's where you have to use them. So he does not advise Prabhupada to build costly temples, and neither does Prabhupada does. What Prabhupada does is make preaching centers around the world. He does not create costly temples, except for some few places where they are important. But now, post Prabhupada, what has been happening is uh, costly temples have been built for materialistic people to be attracted to them, and that money should be used for preaching, should be used for printing books, for prasadam, and so several other things. The priority is not there. The priority should not be to make costly temples and thus be used for preaching, as advised by the acharyas.
Hmm. So that's one room of improvement where ISKCON needs to relook.
Work. Yes,
It
Prabhuji.
needs to relook at itself, its policies, and see that where temples are required, they must be built, but temples are not to be built simply for collecting money or collecting prestige. So yeah,
Yes.
so then that's a do and that's a don't do.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Good. Okay, other limbs.
Yes, Prabhuji. 14th limb is one should not try to read too many books, nor should one develop the idea of earning his livelihood by lecturing on Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm.
So, Prabhuji, there are 2 points in this. The first point is one should not try to read too many books. So, Prabhuji, when a Kanishth Bhakta or even a Madhyam Bhakta reads too many books, those are too many philosophies, and one might be confused between trying to get between the lines. So,
Good.
the base should be very clear, and one should not try to read too many books so that one might not get confused. And also, there is a possibility of ego that a person reads too many books and reads them just for the sole
Yeah.
purpose of knowing too many books and having too much knowledge of many books so that he knows that this book as well and this book. So a possibility of ego is also there. And the second point is one should not try to earn his livelihood by lecturing on Bhagavatam. Because one, if a person, if a Vakta is lecturing on Bhagavatam just for the sole purpose of earning a livelihood, then it's just like milk, which is usually very healthy, but it's drank by a snake and then it becomes very poisonous. So the knowledge that he gives, even if it's very good knowledge and one might get bhakti from it, but since it's being given from a person whose sole purpose is from earning a livelihood, then it is not as powerful.
It's
So
a
one,
very categorical statement, but nevertheless, it's absolutely on the point that milk touched by the lips of a serpent doesn't remain milk but becomes poison. So Bhagavatam, when it is being heard from a person who's not a devotee, but who is just making a business out of it, that can be really very uh, very harmful for our spiritual life. Yeah, very good. Okay, in that context, I would say this needs to be highlighted. What is to be read? So here is one of the places where Prabhupada is talking about the 4 books. These are the 4 books. But Prabhupada wants us to read. All the members of ISKCON must read these 4 books. So you can, in this case, it's like you have got teaching of Lord Chaitanya, it can be added teaching knowledge, or you can say upgraded to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because during that time, when this book was written, 1970, Chaitanya Charitamrita was not published until 1975. So teaching of Lord Chaitanya was published in 1968. So therefore, these 4 books, Prabhupada said, and Prabhupada spoke about these 4 books many places. Many places, many letters Prabhupada mentioned, and Prabhupada was consistent with these 4 books. Little bit here and there. Prabhupada might replace the Bhagavatam with Krishna book or something, but basically the same thing. So these 4 books, Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Nectar of Devotion, these 4 books. This is the minimum any member of ISKCON must read. It's one of those instructions of Prabhupada. Good. Last but not the least, Krishna Kanai Prabhu.
yes, Prabhuji. The 15th limb. It is one should not be neglectful in ordinary dealings.
Yes. So, yeah, would you like to elaborate anything on it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there's same philosophy in the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinay Sampane. So one should, a knowledgeable person should see soul, Krishna, in every single being, whether it be an animal, mammal, or a human. But ordinary people, Prabhuji, as we mentioned, that sadhu sang is very important. So it does not mean that we treat people who are not sadhu with disrespect, and we should see Krishna in every, even a sadhu and not a sadhu. And with devotees, I think, Prabhuji, we should be very cautious because there is a high possibility of Vaishnava Aparadh. And we have seen many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam of the consequences of Vaishnava Aparadh by Durvasa Muni and many people, that people forsake sadhus as no ordinary people and then commit Vaishnava Aparadh, and the consequences are very dangerous. So, Prabhuji, we should be very cautious with devotees and dealings with devotees. And with normal people, we should treat them with respect. And Krishna says Jivedaya, so that Jivedaya part should also be there with normal people. And
In
Tirunadati
fact,
Punichan should be there.
perfect, because that is the way to come to the platform of Madhyamadikari. He knows how to deal with everyone. So that is straightforwardness. And he is talking about straightforwardness. And ordinary dealing, straightforwardness, that one should not be crooked, cheating, lying, like. So this should be avoided. And this is part of bhakti. This is bhakti. It's not something which is helpful for bhakti, but it is bhakti. See, it is part of the don't, but it is a do. It's part of a don't, but it's a do. I do this. Good. Very good. I see Jyoti Maji has her hand up. Yes, Jyoti Maji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask this, regarding the 4 books, Prabhupada Lilamrita. So,
That's not part of the 4 books. Lilamrita came after Prabhupada, right? Prabhupada never asked people to write his own biography. And Prabhupada didn't wrote his own biography also. He just wrote some diaries that you can read. A couple of diaries are the Jaladut diaries, one diary. You can find that. There's another diary Prabhupada wrote. I'm forgetting the name. 2 diaries you can find of Prabhupada, and it's there.
okay.
Yeah, Prabhupada Lilamrita is just like one of the biographies. By the way, Prabhupada Lilamrita is not without its own share of controversies also. And the controversy is not about the it's about the style of writing. Many Prabhupada disciples do not agree to the style of writing because they say that it is because it is written from a third party point of view. So although, I mean, hats off to Satsvarup Maharaj, the kind of research he has done, but then, you see, you cannot satisfy everybody. And that's the reason, like at one point in time in Vrindavan temple, they used to read Prabhupada Lilamrita. But they had to stop that because from the opposition of many Prabhupada disciples who had serious objections to many of the details, because they might see it from another point of view. Say it's just like, let me give an example to drive the point home. Say, for example, I am writing, okay? And all of you here are, say, for disciples of Prabhupada, okay, direct disciples of Prabhupada. I'm also a disciple of Prabhupada, and I'm writing about, in the Lilamrita, I'm writing. And I'm writing, you see, when Prabhupada was giving the lecture, and Shubham Prabhu was sitting on the front row, okay? And Prabhupada looked at him very sternly in his eyes. And then when Shubham Prabhu reads that after 10 years, Shubham Prabhu said, Prabhupada never looked at me with stern eyes. What do you do then? He didn't. Now everybody is thinking Prabhupada was looking at me with stern eyes, but Prabhupada never looked at me with stern eyes. You see, so many of those details were like that, where like devotees differed. So that's why we read Prabhupada, all the biographies of Prabhupada. And the best thing is when we hear Prabhupada about Prabhupada from Prabhupada directly. In many of his lectures, many of his books, Prabhupada speaks about himself in the context where it is required, and he is right. So if you add those things up, you get a pretty much clear picture about Prabhupada from Prabhupada. So that's what it is. Read all the biographies to have a level-headed view, not just Prabhupada Leela. There are okay. Let me show you how many Prabhupada biographies you can read. By the way, and it's just that's not just all. There are more than to them. Some prominent ones I can show you. Yes, here, you see, there are so many Prabhupada. This is like we understand the Prabhupada Leelamrit as we know. Then these are volumes, Transcendental Volume 1 to 5. This is by Hari Sauri Prabhu, is the personal attendant of Prabhupada. And this starts, there are dates when he is discussing about, you see, from November 75 to 76. And then it goes on till, oh, sorry, had these dates. Generally, he writes dates. You see, it's like August to this 76. So there are different, it's like this by Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. It's one biography of Prabhupada. So many Prabhupada biographies. There's a Govinda Dasi Prabhupada stories are there. Prabhupada in Malaysia by Janananda Maharaj now, is Janananda Swami Maharaj. Riddha Prabhu is writing mission. Okay. Oh yeah, this Acharya, Sesha Prabhu, it's a diary of Prabhupada. Okay. This Tamal Krishna Maharaj diary about Prabhupada's final days. Servant of the Servant, again by Tamal Krishna Maharaj. This book, Srila Prabhupada Vacha, is now titled differently. Now I'm forgetting the name. Oh, what's the difficulty? This book, which is called Shiva Prabhupada Vacha, is now named What's the Difficulty? So you can get this. This Guru Das writing Prabhupada's biography. This is Mukunda Goswami Maharaj, Prabhupada's biography. Bhurijan Prabhu writing Prabhupada's biography. So you'll find so many Prabhupads. Vedavyas, now he's Bhakti, I'm forgetting his name now, is Swami now. Okay. So you'll, Bali Maradhan Prabhu also wrote. This is Purma Prabhu writing, you see? Purma, the great cook of a disciple. So Mahani Maharaj writing very, very thin, Prabhupada Radha Damodar, very useful piece of book. So you'll find so many Prabhupada biographies. So I would rather suggest you to read these other biographies also, so that you can get a like level-headed understanding of Prabhupada. Thank you for that question. Thank you very much for that question. Okay, let's move on and let's go to the other groups. How about group number 1? 1, 2, 3.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hi, Bhavimaji, go on.
Yes, Prabhuji. I was with Krishna Priya Mataji. We got confused, so we prepared 3, but I'll present the first, second, and third from chapter 7, accepting the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, where it is talking about that why one should first find that why this material world is different from the spiritual plane, and that there in this material world there is no happiness. And when one is satisfied with this statement, then that person should or the one who is seriously desirous of achieving the real happiness must seek out for a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by taking initiation. And it is also mentioned here that take a shelter of the qualification of a spiritual master is that he must be realized with the conclusion of the scriptures and deliberation and argument. So basically, we are talking about how to define a spiritual master and whom we should not take shelter. In the last paragraph, it is mentioned that purport one should not accept a spiritual master, someone who is fool number one, who has no direction according to the scriptural injunctions and whose character is doubtful. Also, one who does not follow the principles of the devotional service, one who does not conquer the influence of the six sense gratifying agents, and anyone who has practiced controlling these six permitted to take is permitted to make disciple all over the world. So basically, one who has all the control over his senses and is completely satisfied with the statement that why Krishna is the supreme and who can present scriptures as it is, we should take the initiation of that guru. And in
They are
the
do's and
second,
don'ts. Go on.
and in the second, it is accepting initiation from the spiritual master and receiving instructions from him. So, Sage Prabhuda continues here that disciple has to accept the spiritual master not only as spiritual master but also as the representative of spiritual supreme personality of Godhead and the super soul. Or, in other words, we can say the disciple should accept the spiritual master same as God. He is no different from God, and the spiritual master is the external manifestation of Krishna, and it is confirmed in every scripture. And a disciple should accept the spiritual master as such. Bhagavatam also talks about it very seriously that that with all respect and veneration for the spiritual master, by simply hearing and speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam is the religious process which elevates one to the platform of serving and loving the supreme personality of Godhead. So basically, our spiritual master, we can satisfy our spiritual master by glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam as it glorifies Krishna. So we can satisfy our spiritual master, and continuing in the last one, the serving spiritual master with faith and confidence. In the last line, I would conclude in this whole paragraph in one line that one does not need to perform any kind of karma kanda by simply satisfying his spiritual master and following his spiritual master's instructions. One will be able to serve all the demigods. So one does not need to follow any kind of karma kanda. He should simply follow the instructions of his spiritual master.
Here I think I must add, this is the answer to the often asked question that why you people don't start worshipping Ganesha. So this is what it is. If you worship the Guru, you don't need to worship Ganesha. It's most of these people worshipping Ganesha don't have gurus who tell them this thing.
I understood this one is with the example as well, Prabhuji, that if one gives a marriage invitation to a father, whole family will go. But if one doesn't give a marriage invitation to father and give the invitation to the mother, nobody will go. So simply if we follow or we serve or we satisfy our Guru, Krishna will also come and all the demigods will be satisfied.
Highly appreciated. Highly
Hare Krishna.
appreciated. Yes, highly appreciated. There's another thing here. You see the accepting instructions. It was very nicely harmonized. How spiritual master is pleased. And you glorify Bhagavatam, then spiritual master is pleased. So that is the attitude to satisfy the bona fide spiritual master. Tremendous, tremendous. Okay, so now we are, where are we? We didn't cover 7 to 9, right? 7 to 9, group number 3.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Jyotimaji.
Yes. Prabhuji, in point number 7, residing in a sacred place. So here it is given that in the Skanda Puran, it is said that people, like person who has lived in Dwarka, even for 6 months, 1 month, even for 1 fortnight, they will elevate to the Vaikuntha Loka, and all the profit of Sarupya Mukti like the same look as that of four-handed body features as Narayana, they will have the same privilege.
Are you
So
looking
that
for
is,
that?
yes, Prabhuji?
Are you looking for that?
No, Prabhuji.
No? Okay, go ahead.
Second point, even they have glorified that regarding same thing regarding Purushottama Kshetra, that from the people from the higher planetary system, even the demigods, see the inhabitants of Jagannath Puri as having the same bodily features possessed as one in Vakunta. And the third important point, which was very important, is the importance of the Ganges, which is stated is the water of the Ganges carries the flavor of the tulsi offered at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. And such the water of the Ganges, wherever it is flowing, there everything will be sanctified externally and internally. Such is the glory.
See any? Do you see any? Do you see any blessing in it?
Yes, Prabhuji, blessing is there.
What is the blessing? The third one.
That I mean sanctification, like suppose if for
Yes, that one.
yes, sanctification is very
That
important.
is, yeah. So that for whom? For whom this is important?
For Vaishnavas it is important, but for even for non-Vaishnavas it is very important, because they don't like a Vaishnavas, they're not into bhakti. So
So whether it is everybody, but more so for the sadhaka bhaktas, what we are looking for.
yeah,
You see? And it doesn't have any, it doesn't have any bribe. So gradually it is, you see, what Rupa Goswami is doing is gradually like ratcheting it up. You want mukti, this is what it is. You want to know how people see, how they are, what is their status, this is it. You see what the sadhaka is looking for? They are looking for this.
sanctification.
It's like elevating that. Okay, move on to the next one.
Next point will be explained by Bhavika Mataji.
Okay, go on. Already over time. Let's see.
Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, in this, accepting only what is necessary. In this, Prabhuji, in the Naradya Purana, it is directed that one should not accept more than necessary if he is serious about discharging devotional service. Like in this, they are mentioning that if we should be able to do whatever is in our capacity, and we should be able to stick to it. Like if we have to chant the name 100,000 times, maybe it is not possible, but like it is recommended that we should chant 16 rounds on a daily basis. And if we are unable to do that, then we should next day we should make it, like we should be able to do it. Otherwise but if one is not even able to chant 16 round, then he must make it up for the next day. He must be sure to keep this vow. But if he does not strictly follow this out, then he is sure to be negligent. So that is offensive in the service of Lord. So we should definitely be doing whatever it is in our capacity, and that will help us, to be advancing in our spiritual life.
So this is like, I cannot let you off the hook so easy, because it is talking about chanting 16 rounds. How is it that accepting only whatever necessary is mentioning chanting 16 rounds? It's supposed to be part of the japa, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's not. So even more, what does it say? Let's let's go back. I'm sorry, I have to take more time. Although it is also eating up my time as another class to rush there. This is the principle. You see this one at the end? The black one?
Regulative principles according to his, we should be able to follow the regulative principles.
It is better. It is better if yes. And then follow that. So why is Prabhupada speaking about apparently contradicting statements? Here he is saying it is better you do it in according to your own ability. Now he's talking about 16 rounds. If you're not doing that, he will be negligent. Sure to be negligent. And this. So why contrary statement?
We should at least be able to chant 16 rounds daily basis.
Why? But then if that is the case, then why Prabhupada is writing this in the conclusion? It is better to fix up a regulative principle according to his own ability. This is the principle, any regulative principle. Any of the 64. Remember, regulative principle, it is not talking about 4 regulative principle. Whenever you see regulative principle means 64 limbs. It's a general principle. So if that's the case, why is Prabhupada is so much talking about 16 rounds? Or better yet, let's look closely who he is mentioning and he's talking about the 16 rounds. Recommend whom?
Our disciples.
Yes. That is talking about those who are disciples. 16 rounds is the minimum criteria for discipleship, not bhakti. The general criteria for bhakti is this, what he is saying, that this is the regulative principle. One fixes up a regulative principle according to his own ability. And then follow that vow without fail. Why? And you will advance. Will, not may. That will make him advance, not that might make him advance. Will. But if you are a disciple, then this is it. If you are not able to do that, then you should make it up the next day. You see Prabhupada writing anywhere by what time should the japa finish?
No, Prabhuji.
Did you see that anywhere? Or for that matter in other books also? Do you find where Prabhupada gives the time by which time the japa should be finished?
No, Prabhuji.
You see? Rather, what is Prabhupada saying? Not able, then, but next day must be. He must be sure to keep his vow. That's the point. If you are negligent, what is that? What will it lead to? If you are negligent with your vow, what will it lead to?
Backfall.
You see this? It's very important to like that. That's why I'm taking up your time. What is this? You see this? Which is I've highlighted. That is what's written over here. That is
offensive in the service of the Lord.
Service of the Lord or service of the holy name?
Service of the Lord.
Why not holy name? If I am negligent in chanting the holy name, then it should be an offense to the holy name. Is it not? What do you think? If I am not able to finish my rounds, if I'm not chanting, is it not namaprad?
नाम और नामी में कोई अंतर नहीं।
So then it should be namaprad. What is the point? What is the difficulty then?
हाँ,
नामी की गर्दन क्यों पकड़ रहे हैं? नाम की क्यों नहीं पकड़ रहे? This is called offense in the service of the Lord. Is what is it? It is called seva aprad. Not able to finish one's sadhana is seva aprad, not nam aprad. That's why you do not find, if you cannot finish your vow of chanting 16 rounds or whatever number of rounds, that is one of the 10 offenses to the holy name. That's not there. That's why it's a very crucial paragraph. This limb, accepting only what is necessary. It is here, according to this, Prabhupada fixes our sadhana. How many of you have heard that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to have 64 round standards, but Prabhupada reduced that standard to 16 rounds? How many of you have heard that? Yeah. You see? Why? What is the reason? Why he reduced that? What is the sum and substance? Why did he reduce it?
Not possible in Kali Yuga.
Really? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was not passed of Sati Yoga either.
I mean for everyone.
Why not? But then why did Prabhupada reduce the number?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, go on, Krishna Premaji.
Earlier, Prabhupada also has mentioned 64 because
Yes.
but he saw the foreigners were not able to do at least 16. So he then set a limit of 16.
So what do you think? How many rounds did Prabhupada used to chant usually?
64.
16.
Prabhupada, 16.
Exactly. Prabhupada mentions that when I started chanting, I used to chant four in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, 4 in the evening, and 4 at night. Getting my point? 64 rounds is the standard for those devotees who stay in the temple and don't have anything else to do. But if you are preaching, then the rounds are reduced. Wasn't Prabhupada being, like as Krishna Priya Mataji was talking about, wasn't Prabhupada was being very merciful on the foreigners? Prabhupada was very merciful on the foreigners, isn't it? So, can I be more merciful than Prabhupada now? Reduce it to 4 or maybe 1? Why? Mercy has got limits? Now mercy has got limits? Jyotimaji, go on.
If we chant 16 rounds, like throughout the day, how many breaths we take? So for each breath, there's some calculation that the naam is there.
Oh, really? But then how many in one breath? How many mantras do you chant?
No, I mean if we chant 116 rounds throughout the day, it is like we chant that.
That's what I'm saying. So in one breath, how many rounds do you chant?
One breath means one name.
Yeah, one name. So then that covers everything. That's called, you see, that's why I engaged in the discussion, even at the peril of my own class. I'm 15 minutes late in my class, next class. These are the kinds of, she's not responsible. These are this is what the preachers have done to these people. You ask the preacher, okay, show me where Prabhupada has written that, or any of the previous acharyas mentioned that 16 rounds equal to all the breaths. So then, like those who are chanting 64 rounds, four names for one breath. Haridas Thakur chanting like 3 lakh names. That means like what? 12 names for one breath. You see? It's because when we, like, if you don't read enough, then you will accept any idiot's advice. Because this won't work. What is that idiot trying to tell you? See? Shubham Prabhu?
Certainly, we can't advise anyone to chant 4 rounds or any another number.
Why
because
not?
we are not on the level of Prabhupada. We are not acharyas. Because Prabhupada was given the
Acharya can change. Acharya can change Shastra. You see? This is the kind of preaching we are subjected to. You know what is the Manu Samhita definition of Acharya? Achinoti ya Shastrani. That's the difference between a guru and Acharya. Achinoti ya Shastrani. A person who follows the Shastra in words and spirit. Achinoti. That person is called Acharya. So if the Acharya is to change Shastra, where is the question of Acharya? This is another kind of these kind of preachers have done maximum damage to these innocent devotees. Acharya can change Shastra. But then, like all the people around the world, they don't follow Shastra anyways. They're all Acharyas then. Why do you want to change Shastra? We are bringing people to Krishna consciousness so that they can follow Shastra, not change Shastra. Because they don't know what is the principle, well, they will come up with all these kind of mental concoctions. This is because they don't read. This breath thing, this mercy thing, and now Acharya's power, basically an insult to Prabhupada. Prabhupada changed Shastra. It's a credit to Prabhupada, an insult to Prabhupada. This is what it is. This is the principle. Accepting only what is necessary. Under this principle, he is giving the example. For example, it may be said, not possible, one must minimize according to his own capacity. You see this line and the last line? According to his own ability. Same thing. He's not changing anything. He's saying it is according to one's capacity, according to one's ability. Here. Now he's saying for discipleship, if you want to become a disciple in ISKCON, then it is 16 rounds. If you are not a disciple, you may fix your number of rounds and stick to it. Should not. If you don't stick to it, then this will happen. Without, this is just... Okay, let's finish with these 2 hands, with Vaibhavi Maji and Daya Maji, and then we must finish. Very late. Just very late.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I just wanted to add in that only, as Shubham Prabhu said, that because Srila Prabhupada is our founder Acharya of ISKCON, and he is in the position of the authority, and being a disciple in the
Parampara.
In the parampara, we should follow the instructions of the founder Acharya, and therefore Prabhupada gave us 16 rounds as the minimum limit, not the maximum, and to make it easy for the grahastas or for the disciples who are not residing in the temple, so that we don't fall or do seva aparadh. He has minimized this number for us.
Yeah, but in minimizing the numbers, he has not minimized the principle. That is the point here. It's not the numbers. It is not the question of numbers. That's what the problem with in ISKCON we see. Oh, I think my internet connection is weak. My internet connection is weak, so am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you're audible.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So, yeah. So that's the point. In doing so, Prabhupada didn't minimize the principle. That's the point here. Whereas entire ISKCON is defending something which Prabhupada never did. When we are coming up with these kind of lame excuses that this is like for the Grihasthas, he's more merciful, but at the same time, the mercy has got limits, others cannot be merciful. And then this is like this breath or that thing or so many others. Because we don't understand the principle. The principle is not number. The principle is vow. And in giving 16 rounds proper, they exactly maintain the same standard as Bhakti Siddhanta. These are idiots who preach like that because they don't know history. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had 64 rounds for only those who are staying inside the mud. Those who are preaching and those who are staying at home and preaching. Bhakti Siddhanta never made any distinction between anybody who's staying at home and in the mud. Sadhana is the same. Those who are preaching, they can chant 16 rounds. Those who are not preaching, they are supposed to chant 64 rounds. And what are you talking about, Grihasthas? Grihasthas, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, I heard it from one of his disciples, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. He answered that the Grihasthas should be chanting 64 rounds, not the Brahmacharis. At one point in time, he said the Brahmacharis do not need to chant any rounds. Guess why? Because the Brahmachari is 24 hours supposed to be engaged in the service. Whereas the Grihastha has got so many dealings with Maya. So in order to save the Grihastha from Maya, he should be chanting 64 rounds. That's what he said. And look what we did to that. Because we don't know the principle. The principle is vow. The principle is not number. One must stick to the vow and ensure that so that we will advance. Yavad artha vartitaha. This is the Sanskrit of this, accepting only what is necessary. It has got nothing to do with the numbers. We discussed that earlier. So then if you say numbers, then Rupa Goswami chanted less number of rounds than Haridas Thakur. So now he's at fault. You see? The same thing, you can turn it around and ask, like, okay, fine, and a lazy and incapable student, he needs to study all year long. The sharp student can do that in 1 week. Same thing. So it's a vow, not the numbers. Thank you. And if you do not follow the numbers, that's a seva aparad, not an nama. An offense to the lotus feet of Krishna, not the lotus feet of the holy name. If you offend the devotee, that is an offense to the holy name, not to Krishna. These are the differences. Thank you. I took so much time of yours, and also I took this other's time and gave it to you. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Shubham Prabhu, I desperately need to go now.
We can take it next time. It's okay.
Okay, I desperately need to go. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees.